Welcome to our special election show, Political Pradesh, and we'll start with the state of war of Sardars in Punjab because Bhagwant Mann today is now officially the chief ministerial face of the Aam Aadmi Party in the upcoming Punjab elections. He's a two-time member of parliament from Sangrur for the Aam Aadmi Party and will be now leading the party's fight in Punjab. With this also, I must add that India Today's news break is confirmed because I remember we told you first on January 4th that Bhagwant Mann is possibly already leading the Aam Aadmi Party's charge in Punjab and is one of the main frontrunners and will be announced as the chief minister's face. Charanjit Singh was on the ground, spoke to Bhagwant Mann. Listen in to what he told her today.
पंजाब के अगले सीएम और आम आदमी पार्टी का सीएम चेहरा औपचारिक रूप से सरदार भगवंत मान को डिक्लेयर करते हुए
The biggest twist in the Punjab battle. Seen as primary challenger to the ruling Congress, the Aam Aadmi Party now has a chief ministerial face. In 48-year-old Sangrur MP Bhagwant Mann.
तो पंजाब के लोगों ने अपना अगला सीएम किसे चुना है? ये जो 21,59,000 वोट आए, जो लोगों ने अपने रिस्पांस दिए, उसमें 93.3% लोगों ने सरदार भगवंत मान का नाम लिया.
As his jubilant family looked on, an emotional Bhagwant promised to do whatever it takes to bring the Aam Aadmi Party to power in the second state after Delhi.
बहुत ਵੱਡੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀ ਅੱਜ ਮੇਰੇ ਤੇ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਨੇ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ. ਪਾਰਟੀ ਨੇ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਪਲੱਸ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਲੱਖਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਤੇ ਵਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ ਕੀਤਾ, ਸੋ ਮੇਰੀ ਡਬਲ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀ ਬਣ ਗਈ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਡਬਲ ਹੌਸਲੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਮ ਕਰੂੰਗਾ.
Bhagwant's family pledged to back the young politician in his new all-important responsibility.
बड़ी बड़ी बधाई देना चाहिए, बहुत बड़ी बड़ी बधाई देना चाहिए बापे बेटे. पंजाब वाले लोग सारे साथ देंगे, एक दी लड़ाई नहीं हैगी, सारे दी लड़ाई लड़के लड़नी पड़ेगी.
Right now the challenge comes from the other big leaders, especially the Congress party, and whether Bhagwant Mann Singh will now make the cut as the CM face. It will all depend on how AAP fares in this elections.
लड़ा मिल गया ਤੇ ਵਿਆਹ ਕਰਨਾ ਜਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਲੋਕ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਕਰਨਗੇ. ਹਜੇ ਬੜੀ ਦਿੱਲੀ ਦੂਰ ਹੈ. ਸਾਡੀ ਹਾਈ ਕਮਾਂਡ ਸਿਆਣੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਜੋ ਕਰੇਗੀ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਹਿੱਤ 'ਚ ਕਰੇਗੀ.
भगवंत मान एक अच्छे कलाकार हो सकते हैं, अच्छे नौटंकीबाज भी हो सकते हैं, हंसाने के भी काम आ सकते हैं, लेकिन प्रदेश की सरकार चलाना एक सीरियस इशू है. ये सबसे बड़ा मजाकिया सवाल होगा अगर ये कहा जाए कि भगवंत मान पंजाब को नशा मुक्त करेंगे, तो मुझे लगता है कि ये भी एक बहुत बड़ा सवालिया चिन्ह होगा.
Will the Aam Aadmi Party's Maan Ki Baat strike a chord with Punjab voters? With Charanjit Singh in Mohali, Punjab, Bureau Report, India Today.
Bhagwant Mann has many sides and therefore I want you to understand his strengths and weaknesses because that is definitely now come out in the public domain. One biggest strength, of course, is a grassroots leader. He's been there in the state of Punjab. He has been a member of parliament already. And of course, with that grassroots comes his good oratory skills. Remember, he's a comedian turned politician. He has been able to connect with the audience at a very local base level. And using that, of course, he's often approaching political satire to help the Punjabis understand and connect to what's been happening on the issues. And importantly, he also has a fair support of the Jat groups, the Jat peasantry specifically there, and in Sangrur, where most of the rural crowd is, he does have a ground connect. But he's not a man without his weaknesses, and one, he's known as the Bhagwant Mann, of course referring to the alcohol addiction that he's been long known for. Many also suggest that because of his jokes and the way he talks and the way he connects, is also a non-serious candidate for a chief minister's position, specifically in a border state of Punjab, where issues like drug also are very prominent. Many have called him as an opportunity harnessing a celebrity appeal statewide, but could it become a problem outside Punjab for the Aam Aadmi Party? Now, there is, of course, all of this amid, remember, that a thread being caught in the web of past images. The fact that he's still trying to clarify, catching up to all the allegations that have come across to him. And of course, the politicians have been quick, in the opposition, quick to suggest, could he be a security threat as a border state that borders with Pakistan and with his own personal issues? Will he be a good chief minister? The name has been announced. The voters will decide if we are now looking at the future chief minister of the state of Punjab. But of course, this announcement hasn't come just with reactions from political parties. So what if the rallies on ground have been restricted by Election Commission? There's a high voltage digital war of memes that has exploded by rival political parties in Punjab. Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party are the first. I call it the meme versus the meme war because there have been a flurry of tweaked videos edited in the run-up to elections, and some of them are quite hilarious to look at. Take a look at this.
के अगले सीएम और आम आदमी पार्टी का सीएम चेहरा सरदार भगवंत मान को डिक्लेयर करते हुए
This is how the Aam Aadmi Party announced its chief minister face on Instagram. The video went viral in minutes.
आम आदमी पार्टी का सीएम फेस कौन होगा इसके बारे में हमारे अंदर खूब चर्चा.
The political challenge for the two parties has turned into the Great Indian Laughter Challenge, literally.
ਲੈ ਬਈ ਭਗਵੰਤ
हाँ जी,
चैलेंज हो गया.
चैलेंज हो गया. ये परी पूछ के गई है पंजाबी ह्यूमर में ऐसी क्या बात.
नहीं, चैलेंज हो गया. चैंपियन चल रहे हैं.
अब सामने आए पहाड़ या शेर की दहाड़. पीछे वहां खड़ी हूं
ना कोई गल ही नहीं.
चेक करे फट.
Meanwhile, with the just elections a few weeks away, the Enforcement Directorate today raided Chief Minister Channi's relative. That's now sparking an all-out political showdown. This raid politics is now in focus. There's another election-bound state, remember, but the Congress party is screaming political vendetta. The Bharatiya Janata Party maintains this is a crackdown on corruption. So here's all that's been happening, and specifically the reactions that have come politically since this ED raid took place at a relative's house of Chief Minister Channi.
असली चीफ मिनिस्टर वो या असली राजा वो जिसको जबरदस्ती कुर्सी पे लेके आया जाए, उसको स्ट्रगल नहीं करनी पड़े, उसको बताना नहीं पड़े कि मैं चीफ मिनिस्टर कैंडिडेट हूं, मैं डिजर्व करता हूं. वो ऐसा होना चाहिए जो बैक बेंचर हो और उसको पीछे से उठा के ले और बोल कि तू डिजर्व करता, तू बनो. वो जो बनेगा वो देश बदल सकता है.
This video was released by the Congress projecting Channi as the chief ministerial face for Punjab. He's now in the midst of a corruption storm. Chief Minister Charanjit Channi's relative is under the Enforcement Directorate lens. Bhupinder Singh Honey's Mohali residence was raided by ED agents on Tuesday morning over allegations that he's involved in an illegal sand mining case. Bhupinder Singh Honey is Chief Minister Channi's sister-in-law's son, and his firm, Punjab Realtors, is under the scanner as the Enforcement Directorate officials believe black money was used in the company to secure massive sand mining contracts.
On the 5th floor of this homeland building that is in prominent area of Mohali, and this is where the location is being raided.
Honey's home and a dozen other locations were raided by ED agents, and with weeks to go for the election in Punjab, a script that we're all too familiar with has followed. From political vendetta to a crackdown on corruption, the ED raids were politicized in minutes, and every political player began taking sides. Chief Minister Channi lashed out at the centre, calling the raids an intimidation tactic by the BJP before the election. But he's facing fire from his political rivals.
वेस्ट बंगाल के जब इलेक्शन हुए, ममता बनर्जी के रिश्तेदारों पे भी ऐसे ही अटैक हुए थे. सेम पैटर्न पे अब पंजाब में ईडी प्रेशराइज करने की कोशिश कर रही है, परेशानी दे रही है, हर तरीके से दबाव बनाया जा रहा है.
दुख की बात है कि मुख्यमंत्री के रिश्तेदार सैंड माफिया रेता चोरी के अंदर उनके ऊपर रेड हो रही है. राघव चड्ढा जी ने भी चन्नी साहब के उनके अपने हलके में दिखाया था कि किस तरह से वहाँ पे रेता चोरी हो रही थी. उसको उजागर करने के बावजूद सीएम ने, चन्नी साहब ने उस पर कोई एक्शन नहीं लिया, उल्टे उसको जस्टिफाई करने की कोशिश की.
The Congress has vowed that they won't back down and made it clear that they 100% back Chief Minister Channi despite the corruption charge against his relative.
जब राजनीतिक तौर से सारी चीजें खंगाल ली और एक गरीब दलित युवा
पंजाब के मुख्यमंत्री सरदार चरणजीत सिंह चन्नी के खिलाफ कुछ नहीं मिला तो इस प्रकार के उल जलूल, बेतुके और बचकाने इल्जामात लेकर भारतीय जनता पार्टी मैदान में आई।
The BJP meanwhile has dismissed the political fight over the ED raids, maintaining that the law will take its own course.
इन चीजों को राजनीतिक चश्मों से कभी देखना नहीं चाहिए। चंद दिनों पहले तो खुद कांग्रेस के अध्यक्ष सिद्धू साहब भी कह रहे थे कि बहुत सैंड माफिया है, बाकी कुछ पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज भी कह रही थी। तो मुझे लगता है भ्रष्टाचार की लड़ाई में कभी भी राजनीति को हावी नहीं होने देना चाहिए।
The ED raids have only charged up the already vitiated political atmosphere here in Punjab. Raids can also dent CM Channi's image as a common man, particularly when AAP is going all guns blazing, alleging that Channi and his family are corrupt. In the weeks to come, we will come to know the political impact of this high-profile crackdown conducted by the ED. With video journalist South, this is Manjeet Sehgal in Mohali for India Today.